In a traditional African setting, no single person owns a child. A child is owned by community and by the kinsmen. So anybody can correct your child. Anybody can advise your child. Anybody can control your child or correct your child if your child makes mistake. Anybody can even report your child to you if you notice your child is doing bad thing. But there is one thing that is important, which makes me to advise everybody to do traditional marriage, because we have noticed that the woman of these days, they will be in your house and they will be committing adultery, knocking outside. That will make it that when you go for DNA, you find out that most of the children are not yours. None of the children will be yours. Some one, some two will be yours, and others will not be yours. But what happened is that because no single individual owns a child, in traditional African setting, once you get married traditionally and pay the bride price, any child that comes out of that marriage or any child that the woman bears while staying with you is your child. Is your child. When you married your wife traditionally and you paid her bride price, if she likes, let her knock on Nigeria and bear children. That children belongs to you. You don't need to do any DNA. They are your children because she conceived while in your house and why you are paid her bride price. That's why in traditional African setting, we don't do DNA. Any child, wherever it comes from, becomes our child. We are not afraid of their promiscuity or the DNA or to tell you tomorrow, this child is not yours. No, if she says it's not yours, it's yours because the child was conceived while she's under your roof, while she's your wife, and why you paid her bride price. So she has no right over that child. It's you that have that child. So any man that married traditionally and you start having problem with your wife and you are feeling maybe that child is not yours, that child is not yours, don't do DNA. Take them. As a traditional African man, one person does not have child. You have to train other people's children. You have to train your own children. Anybody can train anybody. So why should you go and do DNA? Accept that child and train him or her. It becomes yours. And I don't know, I have not seen where a child you trained, a child that grew up with you, will come out tomorrow and say, my mom tell me you are not my father, and so therefore I will not be with you again. A lie. Even when they go do DNA and they find out that it's not your children, the children always stay put and say you are their father, and you are the father they know. Because all these women that are evil, the what they're doing is they're wicked, very, very wicked. How can somebody get married and you are knocking another man without protection? They are saying that knocking is even more evil. You are committing adultery. And then you vehemently commit that adultery skin to skin and bring unwanted child in the family of that man. Woe unto you, women. Woe unto you. And you see, that's why when you see some family now, they don't have ndori, like thieves. They don't have thieves in their lineage, and all of a sudden one of their child or their children starts stealing. It's not their child though. That is how we know in Africa. We have normal DNA we do without going to take blood or take saliva or take all those hairs and all those things they do. Sometimes you marry some people, you born some mad people as a child. They are not your children, because in your abo there is no mad people there. So where did the madness come from? When you see diverse behaviors from your children, you should know that your wife is already cheating. I know there's peer pressure, I know there's everything, but what that is not in your lineage can never be in your lineage as a traditional African man. If your people doesn't steal, your children can never steal. If there's no madness in your lineage, your children cannot go mad. If there's no prostitution in your lineage, your children cannot prostitute. Even if when they mingle with bad friends, they always way out to eat. So it's because of women jumping from one man to the other, jumping from one man to the other. That is how they bring all these kind of children of Belials into a man's family. But it's though, that's why I say when you notice they're cheating, sack them. When you notice they're doing this and divorce them and marry another person, don't spare them. Don't take that chances, because you don't need to introduce a threat or a behavior or some evil that is not existing in your lineage because you marry somebody. And always check somebody's mother when you want to marry the person. Whenever you want to take a wife, check how the mother is behaving. First of all, check whether the father is still alive or the father don't buy. If the father don't buy, check the reason why the man don't buy. Why is the woman still alive? Because that woman, that your wife, will grow up to be and behave like the mother. They can never change. So use their mother as a case study, as a yardstick, to know what your wife will do in future. Sometimes you still have bad mothers that have good daughters. You know why? Because that daughter is not that man that gave birth to that mother, that daughter. The woman have knocked outside, they have knocked a good man and bring a good person. That's why she will give birth to a good daughter. Sometimes the woman is good, but he has a bad daughter. It's because he have gone to knock a bad man and introduce a bad daughter into the family. So check the mother before you marry. If the mother is nice, your wife will be nice. If the mother is wayward, your wife will be wayward. If the mother is a role model, your wife will be a role model, because everybody begat according to its kind. Lion know the both goats, snake know the born elephant. So check the mother-in-law anytime you want to marry. Check your mother-in-law. What kind of life is she living? What kind of behavior is she portraying? And any woman that loves you because of your money, divorce her. Any woman you marry, maybe you're rich, you marry the woman, you start going down, you start becoming broke. Watch the woman. If the woman cannot cope with you, divorce her. Because I would have said you should divorce your wife when you marry her and you become broke. Because the Bible says that he that findeth wife findeth good thing and obtaineth favor. So how do you marry somebody and you're not obtaining favor again? You're going down. But sometimes there is marriage heat, or maybe you don't have good job, or maybe some evil people around that are the one causing it. But when you will know if you have married wrong wife or right wife, is that if she cannot cope in that your situation, maybe you are doing very, very well. Things are moving very, very well before you marry her, and things started nosediving, start working the way you don't want it, or you are not buoyant enough again. Like I get them before, it's not a property. Watch your wife at that particular time, and that's your low life. If she start complaining, she start misbehaving and everything, divorce her. She's the one that brought you into poverty. And if you continue, you will go into abject poverty. Arebo. The one where they go inside, you will go inside. But any woman that you married and you're rich, you married and things started becoming hard, and the woman is with you and you always pray for you and always wish you well, my brother, stay put there. You have married somebody that will give you good luck. It's a matter of time. God will raise you up. You become blessed, heavily blessed. You've married a good wife. Because even God sometimes sees resources when you marry. He sees these resources to test the marriage. Every marriage is put into test. Let me tell you, whether you are Biola, you are Bigate, once you marry, things will change small. Things will change small. You know why things is changing small? It's called marriage heat. It's to test you as a man and to test your wife as a wife. So if you're Bigate or you're Abiola or Dankote, you marry, you will still witness that marriage heat. Business will not be lucrative more, but because you're already rich, you have something to fall back on and to sustain you until when the load clears, when you bounce back. But if you don't have anything doing, maybe you use all your money to go and do traditional marriage or do whatever you call reception and white wedding and all those stuff. And now the heat come, you don't have anything to fall back on. If your woman stay with her. If your woman stay in that situation, even when you now blow again, if she makes mistake, be warning her. Unless if she refuses to change for good, that's when you will divorce her. Otherwise, if you suffer with a wife, stay with her. But I did not say when she begin to knock outside, you should stay with her. No, 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 no. A knocking wife should not be tolerated even one day, because she will buy you. And once they start doing that, they start going to native doctor, start doing fetish things, start putting something in your food to buy you. So she's dangerous. Any woman that is under the roof of the husband and stay knocked outside is very, very dangerous. Run from such woman. She's a expressway to buy. Enjoy your weekend.